All right, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm here with Corey.
Hi, it's so nice to be here with you guys.
So in this live stream, we wanted to jump on here quickly and discuss something we've been seeing showing up in the headlines quite a bit over the last couple of days, and something you've probably seen in the headlines as well, possibly even heard about it in your local news or the national news as well. How many of us here like David Muir? I mean, seriously, come on, David.
I love David.
Seriously, David Muir is an awesome guy.
I'm such a huge David Muir fan. It's like not even funny. So David, if you're watching,
it's funny.
We
want to be like you, David.
Very cool.
Seriously. No, but anyway, seriously, this is something that's been popping up a lot, and it is sparking fears of another potential global pandemic. So again, we want to talk about the details of this, what is going on, because interestingly enough, it's showing up all over in China. Hospitals are overflowing. It's making its way through some European countries, and guess what? It's here in the United States as well. So we'll be talking through all the details about that, and really quickly before we get into it, just want to throw it really fast here. Full disclaimer, we are not medical doctors, so anything we are talking about here in this video is just based on what we're learning from all the research that we're doing, right?
Yes.
I'm not a doctor, are you?
I'm not a doctor.
Okay.
This isn't medical advice. This is just our opinion on what we're reading and what we're seeing.
Yep. And again, we've been seeing some questions from some of you here in the community reaching out saying, hey, I heard this thing here. What's going on? Is this something we need to be concerned about? Well, again, we're not doctors here. We're definitely not experts on this thing at all. We've been digging around, doing a bunch of research on this, and we just want to translate that information into this video here and let you know what we're finding on this and kind of what everybody else is finding. It seems like there's possibly limited information from what we're reading.
I think it's because it's pretty new, so I think that we're just kind of gathering. I think it sounds like they're kind of just gathering like the basic initial information of what's going on.
Yeah.
Which
is interesting because it was just like how COVID started, right? It was like nobody knew anything, and all of a sudden it's like, what is this thing? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden it was like, it's here in the United States. What do we do?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. But basically, I mean, I'll just kind of get into it with you too. Like, it's a respiratory illness that's surging in China that appears to be affecting primarily children. And it's,
as of right now. Right?
As of right now, and it's kind of like filling up the hospitals. And they're basically trying to figure out, like, what's the cause of this? Like, what's going on? And it sounds like the cause is primarily like respiratory illnesses, like normal respiratory illnesses, RSV, influenza, another, it just kind of like normal stuff. And it sounds like kind of the reason that it's spreading or happening is because China is one of the countries that have been under like a pretty hardcore lockdown in terms of like COVID precautions for a few years now. And they recently, it sounds like, have like really lifted the amount of precautions. And so this is like their first like year, like season, where they're kind of have less lockdown rules, and so therefore there's more a surge in illnesses.
Yeah, when you say season, she's talking like winter season, like cold season. So it's, sounds like that's what's happening as of now too. But again, remember when COVID started as well, they kind of said, it's just the cold weather or whatever was going on at the time, right? There was always some kind of excuse, and then it's like, well, wait, what is really happening here, right? So we'll see how this whole thing transpires, but this started just coming up like a week ago, right? It hasn't been very long at all, and we had no intentions of talking about this. You know, we generally don't talk about this stuff all that much, as you've been watching here on the channel for a long time now. But we thought, you know what, this is popping up. It's something out there. I've been seeing it in the headlines a ton. It's been around the local news, the national news, and again, we've seen some questions from those of you here in the community reaching out, asking like, hey, what's going on here? Is this something we need to be concerned about? Well, again, it's still kind of in that stage right now where it's still pretty early. We will need to continue watching all the details. But do you want to throw some shout-outs really fast?
I would love to throw some shout-outs.
Do you want some shout-outs? Let's do that really fast.
Let's do some shout-outs.
Which, by the way, thanks for joining us. I know we're kind of late right now, but we thought, you know what, we're going to jump on here anyway. We know it's late, but maybe you can watch the replay if you're not joining us live. But if you are here live, make sure to throw a little comment down below. She'll do some shout-outs right here, right now.
Yeah. Kathy Glass, Shanita Merritt Terry, Joshua Peters, Rudy the King, Joe Anders, Rebecca Lawrence, Roxanne Justice, Candy Selch, Vicki Phillips, Kathy, Gary Salas, Joe Henry, Anita Rutland, Wanda McElwee, Wendy Clark, Leticia Saunders, Kinda Cool, Joni Filia, Charles, Elisa Nelson, let's see here, Rachel Bennett, Mammy King, Charles Stoker, Richard Browning, Janny Martinez, Beach Babe, Sharpie Lady 17, Penny Dodge, Robin Rossello, Jessica Roberts, Terry Williams, Hazel Green, Kenneth Young, Gary Salas, Lady Ginger. I was thinking Lady Fingers, like cake. Let's see, Tony Etchison, Karen's Music, Sherry Chabola, Ellie Faye, Linda C. Burns. We've got a lot of people on here.
That's a nice list.
It's
Yeah, that's great. Again, as always, a lot of familiar names and a lot of new names as well. So I noticed a lot of names from other previous live streams that we've been doing over the last couple weeks here. Thank you for joining us. Awesome. And for anybody that's new here, again, thanks so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. We want to do whatever we can here to keep you informed of what's going on. It's a weird time. Would you say that?
It is. And, a lot of people are commenting, too, that they've been sick for a month and they've got some respiratory stuff.
Yeah.
And, I think that this is kind of this season here for that, too, where it's like, I don't know, a lot of stuff going on and the weather's changing, and so it's good to be informed on if there is some kind of, like, weird thing that's going on in the world to know what's going on. And we just want to kind of do our best to say what we've learned. And hopefully as a way, I would say, to kind of mitigate some of that, like, fear too. Like, it shouldn't be like, we don't want to make it be like, bah, like, it's just more like, this is what we're learning. You don't have to panic. We don't want people to panic. This isn't a panic situation.
Yeah, exactly.
But just to kind of like give some information that we've learned, that we found interesting, that we've been seeing just kind of a lot of. Matt's been telling me about this for a couple of days.
Yeah.
He really has. Like,
I really have.
I'll be like, getting the kid ready for bed or something. He's like, have you been hearing about this?
Right. I've seen a couple different names about it, too.
Respiratory thing that's affecting the kids. We got to make sure everything's okay. And it's like, yeah. And it's like usually stuff, it seems like affects kind of like kids, people with like pre-existing health conditions, elderly people who have like a lower, like weakened immune systems. I maybe just said that, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But, I think that those kind of categories of people. And so I think it's important just to be aware.
Yeah, so the couple different names that I've been seeing popping up about this, and again, you can cross-reference this too, but I've seen a number of names popping up, so it's kind of interesting. But a couple places I've seen it called white lung syndrome. I've seen white lung pneumonia, and a whole bunch of other names like microplasma or something.
Well, no, that it's called mycoplasma pneumoniae, and that is not that's like the cause, and it's a very common thing apparently that just is like part of the cause of this, but it's not in and of itself, it's not a problem. It's very, very common.
Yep. So yeah, this is something, by the way, if you've been seeing it out there as well, is this not only strictly in China right now. It started out in China, and then all of a sudden it quickly spread over to European countries. It's in a number of countries over there, and it is here in the United States as well. It's not in all 50 states yet, as of right now, but I believe it's in about 15 or so states as of right now, according to some rough information that we were looking at. It seems like they might even not even know exactly how many states it's in as of right now. But again, we want to stress very quickly, this is not something as of right now that we want to really worry about, okay? So please don't get all worried about this and be like, it's another COVID thing, like Corey was saying. But again, it is something we probably want to pay attention to, because this is exactly how COVID started as well, where everything thought like, everything's just fine, and all of a sudden everything started getting canceled, right? Things were getting canceled, the economy was getting shut down. I am not saying that's happening again, but we don't know, right? That's why we got to continue watching this very closely. And a lot of people are worried, like, what if this continues to spread, and what if this really does turn into a thing where literally hospitals all across the country are overflowing, and that'd be a bad situation. We dealt with that for a couple years, right? That was kind of weird. Yeah,
it was. It sounds like currently, and I'll just kind of like share what I'm learning. In the World Health Organization in China said that the Chinese health authorities advise that the current numbers they are observing are not greater than the peak in the most recent cold season prior to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, as of now,
that's just what they're reporting.
Some lawmakers, by the way, here in the United States are suggesting that the administration bans any travel from China. So that's weird, too, right? So exactly what we saw a couple years ago.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to, point the finger at anybody or anything in particular. I'm just saying. This seems kind of weird, right? We've been through this, so it's like you kind of have your guard up a little bit, right? I mean, seriously, when you see something like this, like, this seems oddly familiar, right? I swear we just went through this a couple years ago, so I don't know, right? You got to continue watching this very closely.
Yeah, I think it's just really important to just, in general, I would say, not medical advice, but if you are sick, stay stay home.
Well, yeah.
Right? I mean, just
Right.
like as a general rule, like if you don't feel well, see a doctor, get medical help, right? Mm-hmm. But don't like go sharing it around the grocery store.
Yeah. Yep.
That'd be my advice.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, yeah, exactly. No, I totally agree.
But like seriously, like that's I think the takeaway is like if we don't because we don't really know what's going on, we don't know how it spreads exactly. We don't know how there's a lot of things we don't really know exactly how like you get stuff. Mm-hmm. So if you don't feel well, if you're hacking up, whatever, just like be cautious, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure. So we wanted to jump on here really quickly, kind of talk through the details about this. I mean, obviously, we don't know a whole lot, right? It seems like a lot of people don't really know a whole lot about this, but we wanted to kind of talk through this. Again, we've seen a few comments, not a ton, a few people reaching out saying, hey, we're concerned about this. Is this something we need to be concerned about? Can you do some research on this? Can you make a video about it? And we thought, you know what, let's just jump on a live stream here, talk about the details. According to what we're seeing anyway, they're making it sound like, it's no big deal. Nothing to really worry about as of now. But again, we don't really know. So we'll just have to continue watching this closely. Do you have any articles pulled up right now that you can kind of reference or not really?
I was just referencing that one. It was from Reuters. I don't know why I'm struggling.
What are you saying? I have no idea what she's saying right now.
Reuters. Oh
Reuters.
My gosh, Reuters. Okay, Reuters. I know. I'm like blah. Yeah, Reuters.
What?
Reuters. So I feel like that's legit.
Yeah.
And I was reading a New York Times article earlier too. Mm-hmm. And they were both giving, I felt like, good information that felt not what's the word I'm looking for? Guys, I'm struggling.
I'm not sure
I'm struggling
what you're
with my
going
words.
for here.
No, it wasn't. I don't say dramatic, but it wasn't like panicky.
Okay. Yeah.
But just kind of information that a surge of children have been hospitalized in China for the respiratory illness. Mm-hmm. But it sounds like the cause is a common viruses and bacteria. But I guess like my question, and this is just me being like totally uneducated about respiratory illnesses, but it's like, well, why does stuff turn into other stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the information.
Nice. Does anybody have any questions about anything? We can, as long as we're here, if you want to throw any questions down below. Obviously, again, we don't really know a whole lot about this, kind of just based on the information, the research that we're doing. But as long as we're here, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to throw that down below. Otherwise, do you want to do some more shout outs quick?
Yeah. Sharpie Lady 17, Joni Filia, Doc Enick, Linda Provencher, Shanita Merritt Terry, Gary Salas, Designs by Teresa, Alicia Nelson, James L. Cantonese, Gabby Dixon, Georgiana Durden, Timmy A.H. A lot of A's, a lot of A's.
Nice.
Deb Katzer, Wrath, Joe Anders. Actually, cool. Joe Anders has a question on YouTube. On the YouTube's, we don't usually say other names. Okay, somebody read. We don't say other like channel names necessarily. They've read that they're saying there's a $600 stimulus has been approved. It would be nice if it's true, but I doubt it. Have you guys heard anything about this?
False. Who's that? Joe Anders?
Yeah.
False. Not happening.
And I'll tell him at the site so we can like.
Yeah, I have an idea. I have a weird suspicion who it might be. Yeah, I know.
I don't know if it's who you think.
Well,
I've never heard of this.
There's a lot of channels out there right now that are talking about all kinds of stuff, like promising all kinds of different things. I see them all the time. Okay, no, $600 check. No, that's not happening. However, one thing that I might think or possibly could anticipate that they're talking about what was it? Maybe actually it was the day before Thanksgiving. So what was that? I don't know, a week and a half ago, something like that. I believe it was the Wednesday, or not, it was the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, okay? The Tuesday before Thanksgiving, the IRS came out and said that they're suspending the reporting of the $600 threshold on cash transferring apps like, what are they? I'm thinking of all of them. Venmo, Apple Pay, Zelle, Cash App, things like this. So they're suspending that $600 threshold on that. Maybe they're talking about that. I'm not really sure. But that has nothing to do with a stimulus check. That's just basically reporting to the IRS on income or basically money received through those cash transferring apps. So maybe that's what they're talking about with $600. Other than that, no, there's not a stimulus check at that point. No.
And also, Doc Ennick said that somebody said that Congress approved $1,800 for the SSDI and SSI, but that was a lie.
Right. No. Nope. Again, I think I saw that video, by the way. Have you, by the way, I just want to ask a quick question. Have any of you seen all these AI channels popping up? There's a ton of AI channels popping up right now. I could name off probably 10 different channel names that I've seen showing up. They're all AI. In other words, they're robots. They're not even real people. Like we're like real people. We're sitting here right now, right?
I would say that looks pretty obvious. I would hope AI could do a better job.
A robot would definitely do a better job than us right now. Guaranteed, okay?
I'm
robots,
sure they've got
automated.
more
They're going to be able to speak like normal. They're not going to have, brain problems, not being able to think of words. They're going to do a much better job than us right now, okay?
Yeah.
But my point is, there's a lot of AI channels showing up with all kinds of weird things that don't make any sense, like, checks approved, mailing out tomorrow, all kinds of things like this, depositing on Friday, things like this. I see them all the time, and I think, I wonder what this is all about. Sometimes I click on those videos just to see what's going on. They're all AI channels. I'm just curious if anybody else has seen those. I bet there's at least 10 of them that I could name off right now, but I'm not going to because there's no point. But anyway, it's just weird, right? So basically what they do is the person, whoever has these channels, obviously they don't want to show their face. I'm not afraid to show my face. I'm not sure about you, even though it's not a pretty sight. I know, sorry. But my point is, even though we're not afraid to show our faces, these other people, whoever's making these channels, they're basically just having the robot and they put up all these weird pictures on the screen while this robot is talking. So, I don't know, weird. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
Yeah.
So, if anybody sees those, let me know. Otherwise, yeah.
Some people have noticed that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So, I don't know.
We're not a robot.
We're not robots. If we're robots, we suck at our job. Let's just say it how it is, right? Sorry.
It'd be a true story. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I guess I think that the takeaway with this is that we are keeping an eye out about the virus situation, and if anything gets I would say passed on, if we learn anything.
I was about to say, there it goes again.
I know. No, but if we learn anything, if it feels like we're need to be really more informed, we'll continue to update you guys on this. It sounds like some people are kind of glad we brought it up because they've been hearing about it.
Yeah.
So I feel like if this is something that is a thing you need to be worried about or concerned about or mindful of, we will continue to talk about it to keep you informed.
Yeah, definitely.
And viruses, I'm sorry to cut in again, but like in COVID, viruses can affect the economy. So it is good to be knowledgeable about it from a medical perspective, but also from an economic perspective.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, I know I'm going to receive this question over the coming days here. I'm just going to throw it out there right now in anticipation that I'll get this question, at least at some point. I'm not saying from anybody here in the community right now in this live stream, but I anticipate I'll get this question. Is this going to impact our Social Security benefit? By the way, when I say Social Security, fill in the blank with any type of benefit you want. It could be retirement, SSDI, survivor, spousal, SSI, VA. Again, the list goes on and on. I say the list all the time. Literally every day I say the list, right? You know the list I'm talking about. But will it impact your benefit? The answer is no. It will not impact your benefit whatsoever, okay? I just want to throw that out there really quick. Again, I know this is a question I will receive at some point. I just want to throw it out there really quickly. I'd prefer not to make a dedicated video asking or answering that question, but again, just want to throw it out there really fast because, again, at the end of the day, your benefits are very important. You rely on your benefit, right? So it's important to know, hey, is this going to impact it at all? No, it shouldn't. There's no reason that it would impact your benefit whatsoever, right? So, yep.
Yeah. So I think it's just good to just inform you guys. Do our best to just tell you what's going on, how it might affect you, how it might not.
Yep.
But we will kind of keep. We find this interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. But another thing, too, like I was saying some of the videos, well, I don't say it all the time. I say it sometimes, which is a lot of things that I talk about, you don't hear it from your local news, right? They don't sit there and talk about Social Security and all these fixed income benefits and all the bills, packages, and proposals that lawmakers are playing around with and all the things that they're talking about and debating. They do sometimes, but they don't nearly dig into it as deep as I do. But this that we're talking about right here, the local news is all over this, right? They're talking about it left and right. The world news, the David Muir news, whoever that is, whatever station that's on. I know we watch it. I just don't know what station it's on.
Yeah, it might be on somewhere else.
Yeah, but my point is, whatever that's on, they're all over this. They're covering this stuff too as well. So to be realistic with you, we're probably not the best source for this type of information. I mean, certainly we'll keep an eye on it and continue to keep you posted on it. But those people, they have like, doctors in-house and all the people that know what they're talking about. We're just a bunch of fools that are sitting here having no clue what we're talking about. Just being real with you. So
that is
we're just trying to do our best here.
Yeah, but it's something that we've been like continuing to talk to each other about, and that's why we thought maybe you guys should know more about this. We've seen some comments, so we thought let's just bring it to the group.
Yep.
Oh, ABC. David Muir's on ABC. Oh, you know what? I knew that because that's a Disney, I think, affiliate. Like they own that, and I watched a thing on it on TV.
David's great, by the way. He's a great anchor. Seriously,
he is. His story is interesting. He's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. All right, so we should probably get off here. It's kind of late anyway.
Probably. I know.
What is it? Like 10 o'clock or something, East Coast time?
It's getting pretty late.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll be up bright and early making that video for in the morning. There's a lot of stuff going on, as always, as we're wrapping up the end of the year here. A lot of things going on. And as always, it's kind of an interesting time, by the way, as we transition from year to year, December into January. It's always an interesting time when it comes down to fixed income benefits from Social Security. Why? Because all of those announcements, all of those changes and everything that they brought to us back in mid-October, they're all going into fruition in just a couple weeks here. So all of those changes coming in a matter of just weeks. So yeah, a lot of things transitioning here and a lot of benefits are being impacted. So anyway, we're always here for you in any way that we possibly can be. We always say that, but again, just want to reinforce that we're always here. We got to stick together in this community right now. By the way, I'm working on something. It's going to be super cool and pretty cool. I don't know, pretty exciting. Just stay tuned. Maybe we'll bring it to you in about a week or so. I'm not done with it, working on it currently, but it's kind of an interesting thing. I've told Corey a little bit about it.
You know what?
But
I know what you're referring to.
I'm super excited about it.
I know what you're referring to, and it's
You'll see my creative side.
Yeah. Matt is actually super. I feel like this channel YouTube, he doesn't show how like clever he is. He's super good at like clever things. I think he's
I'm
clever.
excited to bring it to you.
Yeah.
So it'll be funny. Well, it'll be funny and it'll have a pretty good impact in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So
he's
we'll bring that to you. Give me probably a week. I'm not very far into it. It's time consuming. It's a lot of thinking involved. I don't want to give too much away. All right, just
so he needs
tuned.
some time to get that handle, so he doesn't wear out the old brain too fast.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's late. We're getting a little kooky, so we'll get you out of here.
People love. Okay, throwing this out there. People like that our sweaters kind of match. I didn't know that when I put mine on, but we have like matching like purplish sweaters, and we actually look really good.
Oh. That's
what
people
are saying, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, we do look good. We could wear these to Christmas. But I'm going to just show you guys. I have a hole in my sweater in the elbow, so I'm kind of sad.
Mine's probably a little sweaty, just saying.
Yeah, mine's like ripped up to bits. I'm going to need to get one of those like leather elbow pad things. I'm legitimately thinking about this.
Shoulder
pads? I love
pads?
the sweater.
Should get some shoulder pads
elbow pads, like teachers wear.
Reinforced elbows.
Yeah, no, I'm not even joking. I don't know how do you do that, but that's what I think I need to do. So,
all right. Now that we've shared way too much about us, holes in our clothes, all kinds of stuff.
It's true.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, thanks everybody. We really appreciate you. And again, just wanted to come back for you really quickly, just spend some time with you, hang out, and just let you know, hey, nothing to worry about right now. Well, at least with this that we're talking about here. But we'll continue to watch it. Otherwise, I'd say when it comes down to this, we're not going to talk about this a ton. Just saying that, okay? But if something transpires that's definitely worth talking about, like in much more detail, of course, we got your back. We're here for you. So enjoy. Yeah. Have a nice night. Sleep tight. And we'll see you in 12 hours? 10 hours? Something like that?
Time.
11 hours? Yeah, we'll see you in the morning. So, enjoy your day. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right, see you later.